In this video, I'm going to show you 2 simple tricks to have a 100% increase on your eBay dropshipping sales. That means doubling your sales every single month. So if you're doing only $25,000 in sales next month, you should be doing about $50,000 in sales with these 2 simple tricks. Not only am I going to show you these tricks because maybe you've heard of them before, but I'm going to show you exactly how I go about implementing them and how I run them in my own eBay dropshipping stores. So if you like the sound of this video, please be sure to smash that like button. Let's get it out to as many people as possible. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel down below and hit that little bell notification so you're notified every single time I drop a video like this. Also check out my new Instagram down below. Post videos on a daily 1-minute little bites of content for you guys, just to get you on with your day. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to bring you inside of my eBay stores. I'm going to show you exactly how I go about these 2 simple tricks. I'm going to show you how you can implement them too and hopefully see huge increases in your eBay dropshipping sales. I'll see you inside. All right, so here we are inside my computer, and this simple 2 tricks are going to be 1, promoted listings, but not just any promoted listings, how to actually do it the way I do it so I can show you exactly how to be increasing your sales properly. And then also after that, other forms of just promotions in general, mainly volume pricing and shipping discounts of the like. So let's just get into some proof right here that this is going to pretty much double your sales. So if you can see right here, I want to give you a full month of data right now. And this was February 1st all the way to February 29th of this year. This first piece of data is just, it's a mess up by eBay. They've been just putting the first day on the graph at 0 on everybody's graphs. But if you look at this, this is what a normal promoted listings graph is supposed to look like. Not one that just drops down, not one that just, is stagnant, at the very bottom. This is, a consistent 200, 250 clicks a day on my items. So you can definitely tell that this is paying off. There's a lot of people seeing it. And one thing you need to realize about promoted listings is the fact that you do not get hit with a promoted listing fee unless it sells through promoted listings. So eBay, you can promote all of your items, and eBay is going to go out there and put your items sometimes promoted, sometimes not promoted. So it doesn't really mean that you're going to be selling promoted listings at all points in time. So we'll go over what percentage to be putting it at, what I personally have been, known to put it at, and what to do with volume pricing after this. So you got to look at the sales right here. $19,600 in sales have come from promoted listings from February 1st to February 29th. And I have a graph of this account that I ran in February, and it was $42,900. That's about 50% of my sales came through promoted listings. Would those sales have happened if they did not come through promoted listings? Who knows? I'm sure some of them may have come about without promoted listings, but again, you can never be certain. So what I can guarantee you is that about 50% of my sales are coming through promoted listings. Let's do 19.6 thousand divided by 42.9 times 100. 45.7% of my sales are coming through promoted listings in this 1 month. So that means if you are not promoting your listings, you might not be making any of these sales right here. You have no idea if you would make these sales, and that's about 50%. So say, I'm doing 20,000 in sales 1 month, and then I promote my listings. Now 20,000 of them are coming from promoted listings as well. You're about $40,000 in sales now, and you have in fact doubled your sales for the month. So let's go into this account right here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I go about actually setting up my promoted listings. So first off, if your account's new, if you hover over marketing, sometimes you don't have a drop down. So you want to click that. And also if your account is brand new nowadays, you will not have promoted listings. You need to make some sales on your account now. eBay came out with this new update. They never told us when it happened or why it was happening, but you need to make some sales, have your account be around for like 1 or 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And at that point in time, then you can actually make sales with 3 promoted listings. So let's say you have promoted listings, you've made it to that point. This is a new account that I started off, just listing a bunch of items on promoted, and you can tell that I am starting to sell items on this account as well. The reason for all these big jumps on this one is because I'm adding more items as I go throughout the month. So how are we going to go about actually editing these promoted listings? So first up, I have right now all of my items on this account actually promoted. So I'm going to go and show you how you would do it if you didn't have all your items promoted. You would click create a new campaign, but for me, since I already have a campaign, we'll go down right here. And pretty much you have to think about it. I've been promoting the majority of my items at 3%. So if you're aiming for an overall profit margin of like 10%, 11, 12%, and you promote at 3%, then say you're at 10% profit margin, you promote at 3%. If that item sells through promoted listings, then it's going to be 7%. But if it doesn't sell through promoted listings, then it's going to be about 10%. So you need to realize that if you are selling 50% of your sales are coming from promoted listings, then that means only 50% of the sales are going to get hit with a 3% off, promoted listing fee. At that point in time, 3% times 50% of the sales, you're only losing 1.5% altogether. So if you're aiming for 10% and you only lose 1.5%, you're still making 8.5% on average on all of your sales throughout the month, the year, and that's not that bad. If you want to increase it, then just increase your profit margin up a bit, and then at that point in time, if you do 11.5% average profit margin, you minus 1.5% for 50% of your sales at 3%, then you're going to be making a solid 10% flat margin. So you need to realize what your profit margin you want is. Then you would click create a new campaign. But I'm going to go in and edit this campaign right here. And when you go to edit the campaign, you're going to see basically all the listings that you need to choose. Once you choose them, you'll get to this page, and it's going to say, do you want to do it in bulk or do it by hand? If you do it by hand, you can do at least 500 at once, and that's all I've ever actually really needed to use. So you use your 500 at once, and it's going to show all of your items right here. I know they're blurred out, but I've been putting them all at 3%. You can change it to whatever percentage you want. But one trick that nobody really shows here on YouTube or anything is all you need to do is click apply a single ad rate to all of these listings in this campaign, and all the ones that you pick. At that point, you just drag this to whatever percentage you want. Another thing that a lot of people talk about is the trending rate right here. This trending rate is completely made up by eBay. It's just a way to scheme you into putting more ad rate on your items so that you are giving eBay more money per sale. Do not go with the trending rate. If you go with the trending rate on some of these items, you're going to be losing a lot of money, 5.1%. Some of these aren't that high, but I've seen up in the tens before. It's just definitely a waste of money. And it's hard to really go with a variable percentage. It's harder to track your actual profit percentage from there. Yes, it can be done, but again, it's just something that I don't like to go with. 3% has worked for me. About 50% of my sales come that way. So, I know that something is working decently well. At that point in time, you would click update. If you wanted to add more listings, you would go back here. This is where you would add listings. But again, I do not have listings to add because all of mine aren't promoted at the moment. So that's promoted listings. You need to realize that they are very important. People that are out there saying don't put promoted listings on your sales because of the fact that people can't see if they're using ad blocker. First off, only a certain percentage of people in America use an ad blocker. Second off, that only shows up on specific ad blockers, not all of them, and the fact that I believe eBay found a way to get around it. And it just doesn't make sense. If you're trying to base your business decisions off of somebody that's using an ad blocker, it's not the best idea. And I've seen that many of the people that fell for the trick to take their promoted listings off like 6 months ago because other YouTubers said it was a good idea, all went back to promoted listings from what I've seen and said, oh wow, yeah, that was a bad idea. My sales went up for a bit and then they went right back down. So it makes no sense. I don't understand why you wouldn't use promoted listings. I just proved to you that 50% of my sales come through promoted listings. So let's also talk about something that nobody really ever talks about, and that is the volume discounts and the other forms of promotion. So if you go to marketing and then you click on promotions, this is where you're going to get to other forms of promotion. So you need to realize if people are buying in bulk from you, they expect a bit of a discount, or you should give them an incentive to do so. So one thing that nobody really talks about is that if you do have a percentage discount off your items, then it will show up in search. I'm going to pause the video. I'm actually going to find it. All right, so I just found an item, and let's look at this item right here. I'm not sure if somebody's drop shipping this. It doesn't look like they're drop shipping it, but they could be just using, pictures that they took at home and they are drop shipping it. But this is a mainstays item, and this is just for reference right here. It says save up to 15% when you buy more. This sticks out to a buyer when somebody is searching. Not only is there fast and free, not only is there guaranteed by a specific date, not only is there top rated plus, the more of these little badges you can have next to your listing compared to a listing like this, the more it's going to stick out. If you use save up to 15% when you buy more, that means that they're using a volume discount. So the volume discounts are right here: buy 1, buy 2, buy 3, buy 4. You can see that. But one thing you need to realize is that you can put these volume listings on your listings. They're going to stick out, but you really want to make sure that they're usually listings that either you can afford that extra percentage off. It's 15% off each item, so that'll be $12.62 each instead of $14.85 each. You need to realize this usually works for items that have actual variable shipping rates. So on some of the suppliers I use, if you ship one item, it's $12. If you add a second one to the shipping, it's still $12. Instead of somebody buying two and they're paying extra for the shipping in their price on eBay, you can take it off with a bulk volume discount, which will then you'll still make good profit, and you can make more sales or more dollar amount in sales per your items. So it's a great way to get extra sales. It's a great way to entice people. And also, even if somebody was only going to buy one, this still sticks out a lot more, so that you're still going to get more sales even if somebody's only going to buy one. So what a lot of people do is buy one is regular price, buy 2 is 1% off each, buy 3 is 2% off each, and then buy 4 is 5% off each. I do that a lot. And basically what that means is most people won't buy 4 of this item, but it does show up in search when they're scrolling, save up to 5% when you buy more, but nobody's gonna buy 4. So that's one little trick that I use in order to get more sales on my listings, and it's definitely worked for me in the past. So this is a new account right here that I showed you, and these are items that I have done, you know, the buy 4 at 5% off, but nobody's bought 4 yet. Not one single person has bought 4. So it's worked every single time so far. So you need to realize this is a great way to just scheme extra sales out of somebody. Also, there's shipping discounts. You could say if you buy 5 of an item, or you know, then your shipping's free or something like that. I never really use shipping discounts, but they are I've seen people utilize them very well. So you can say, you know, here's your minimum order. If you spend $50 or more, you'll get a specific shipping price. You know, if you buy 3 or more, then you'll get, you know, free shipping or something like that. There's ways to make this seem very enticing to the buyer, or to stick out more in search when somebody's scrolling without actually having to affect your own personal bottom line. And that's one of the biggest things that these promoted listings really are, is that they'll get you out to more people for promoted listings, and then, you know, you'll only get half of your sales will be at that percentage, so you're only losing half of the percent that you're marking them up at, and you don't lose any money until you make the sale. You don't have to pay for advertising until you make the actual sale. Almost no platform works like that, only really eBay does. And then secondly, these volume discounts, make sure that, you know, if it's get 10% off if you buy 4, that you'll still be profitable at that point. But, you know, most people aren't going to buy 4 of that item. You know, if it's a big item, if it's something that most people won't buy 4 of, it's just a way to scheme more, you know, just views and a better SEO on your listing, because of the fact that eBay is going to push it a lot higher in search. So these are 2 very big reasons to make changes to your listings and to be making a lot more sales. So usually you will double your sales if you're doing this properly. So, you know, that's about it for this video. If you have any questions about how to go about doing these, you know, do your research, read these, make sure your profit margins are working for the actual numbers that you're using. They are a little bit more complicated, I would say. It's going to, you know, require a little bit of math to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work, what to set your prices at, and everything like that. So if you have any questions, just please ask them down below. Again, please be sure to smash this like button. Let's get it out to as many people as possible. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you get notified every single time I post a video every single week. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you in the next video.